Alrighty, Monday fun day. No, actually, Sunday's fun day. Yesterday we took it easy. Oh, we're rolling. Let's roll. Yes, so like I was saying yesterday, Karen, the camera girl, and myself, we took it easy. We made this contraption right here so we could not use the big exhaust fan. We put a little computer fan on the end of this tube so we could like do some airbrushing, and she was practicing her airbrushing. I was doing a little bit of paint airbrush work on basically just a little toy I bought, you know, basically a plastic model. I was detailing some parts. I might show it in a video. I find that stuff I don't know. It's reference to the bigger project. That's all I'm gonna say. To a quarter scale project. I bought it purely for reference. Tonight's video, ladies and gentlemen, is all about like last week. Last week we pulled out some, or 4 or 5 days ago, we did the grinder, turning it into a rear end, and I pulled out an old nylon one that was, I call it an archive because I made that thing probably 20 years ago. Never did anything with it because I really wasn't into cars then. I was actually into large gas boats, believe it or not. You've seen my jet boats, or jet boat. I have a couple jet boats. I started out with jet boat. Went purely straight to like weed eater prop boats, all handmade, you know, using thin wood to start with, and then eventually got into the whole fiberglassing, making molds, making hulls. I actually thought I could go somewhere with that, but you know, you start looking around the internet and it's like, wow, there's a lot of companies out there making fiberglass hulls. So kind of 86 that whole idea of, you know, trying to make them, you know, send them off to the masses. But on my adventures in boating, I loved cracker boxes, cats. My favorite of all was probably the tunnel boats, F1 style tunnel boats, similar to a cat, a little longer, a little narrower. So I wanted to create, I should have brought down some other stuff I have stored upstairs. Basically, anybody in the boat world, big gas boat world, knows that. So basically, if we take a look at this, I'm just going to move the pipe, we've got ourselves, basically it's a scale outboard. We got a Zenoa liquid cool on it, you know, pretty common. I think they're 25.4, I think everybody calls them 26 cc. Now I created my own. I built one that was a cable drive, like the Cutthroat, but I designed mine all out of basically sheet metal, and basically made it like, yeah, I'm gonna say it, I made it like an X-ray leg, so you could see everything. You could see the tube, the cable went through the tube, and basically I had struts of sheet metal holding that tube in place. Somebody actually took that design and they sell those. Not going to name names, but yeah, it happened, you know. Don't care, I didn't have a patent on it. But anyhow, I didn't really like the cable drive. I found the cables broke a lot, you know, putting that much bend and stress on them, and they didn't work the greatest, you know. The throw, when you went into the corner, the throw was really weird. So I want to design my own gear-driven. You know, I think what we'll do, I'm gonna just shut up for a second. We're gonna fire this up. This thing has not been run in 15 years. Not so much the motor. The motor's been run prior to that. Not very often, but this whole scale outboard thing. And then we'll talk a little bit more about it. That's just to hold my pipe from falling down. We're going to attempt to see if it will even fire. So basically the cooling system on it, I had a tube through the plate here, and the prop basically pushed water into the tube, you know, into the cooling, into the jacket, and then, you know, spit it out elsewhere. This was all handmade, you know, all this aluminum. You had a trim adjustment. You could move the block up and down. There's actually a pivot in here so you could adjust the trim. This bar here on the other one. One thing I do want to mention is you'll notice that when this motor is pointing back, you got my bungee cord up there, what you'll notice if you come across this video and you're into big gas boats, tunnel boats especially, is you'll notice that my motor configuration is different. My exhaust is sticking out the back. My carburetor is pointing towards where the tunnel hull would be. And the reason for that is because, you know, when I first built my tunnel hull boats and I had the motor, basically the spark plug sticking back, everybody runs into that problem of the carburetor getting snuffed by water coming off of the rear sponsons of the tunnel hull. So you got to design a special breather apparatus, you know, to cover up your carburetor. And I thought, well, why not do it like the real F1 tunnel boats and have ducting that comes right into basically, you know, feed air to the carburetor via straight from the tunnel boat itself. So yeah, I just swapped the motor around and actually had a tune pipe that actually wrapped the motor and then stuck out the back, and it actually looked nicer than some of the stuff I had seen on the internet where they're just running a big old expansion chamber and straight off the motor, you know, sticking out into the middle of nowhere. Let's fire it up. Let's fire it up. It's nothing like the smell of two-stroke. Whoa, there we... Obviously you can see something come loose. Actually, I'll tell you what happened. I was trying to work on this earlier, and this fin, I had it clamped in the vise by the fin. I broke the fin off, which basically makes this become loose. So I'm going to show you that. We're going to take it out of the vise. That's what this video is all about. This video is all about, it's home built. It's home built. I want to show you. I want to show you all the tricks that I come across, all the little things. Remember, we're talking almost close to 20 years ago. When I had the idea of this, and you know, 20 years ago, you can go back, you can look on YouTube, and there was 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 guys with a very cool scale outboard. Don't get me wrong, people were always, you know, always trying to make them. What we're going to do is we're going to strip this baby down, and we're just going to have a look at stuff. There you go. There's the, I designed this block. This bolts to the transom. We've got pivot points for your trim adjustment. This block is slotted, so you could slide it up or down, you know, put it in the water more, lift it out of the water more. A lot of this stuff, yeah, hand built in a vise. You know, look, you can see couple drilled holes, you know, mostly done with files back in 20 years ago. I didn't have the fancy schmancy, you know, tools that I have now. I guess first things first, so we got that off. We'll take it apart in layers. Obviously the gearbox is broken. I'm going to do it with a drill to speed up the process. Whoa! We're going to speed it up. We're going to spin it. Maybe strip some bolts along the way. Maybe we won't be taking it apart. We don't care if they fall on the floor. Hopefully I can get this this fastener out. There we go. I got it. I got it. There we go. I got it. So we'll lift this whole unit off. So what I got here, got some shims. That's a shim. So as you can see, this is like your typical cup. Inside here, these are actually two shims, as you can see. Just a thick one and a thin one, just to take up space. I'm going to move the motor. Typical Zenoa motor. Great motors, especially for the marine application. There you go. Look, that's a homemade dog bone right there. It's kind of crude. But it worked awesome. We're going to take this thing all apart because I want you to see. I made all these pieces. All the brackets, all the pieces. Probably spent months. My wife will contest to that. So we got an upper flange here. We got a middle section. Look at this. We got the upper flange, the two long bolts. We got a middle section. We got the splash plate. We got another shim. And then we get down to the other cup. Obviously it's not spinning this anymore because, like I say, this that's kind of funny. I made this on the fly. I just drilled some holes and put that wire through just so I could hold tension on there. It's pretty much, you know, it's dickered. It's dickered. It's all busted. But I'm going to show you some other cool stuff. So basically, what the gears are, we'll take them out. I'll show you. So basically, I've got set screws kind of in different places. I know I got the right Allen key here. There we go. So basically what I did is I made barrels, aluminum barrels, with a bearing in each end of it to hold the gear. Now, that is a curve cut gear. You can see it's worn. It's had its time. It had use back in the day. Same as the one in here. Well, it's gonna make me want to undo the set screw, even though I already know it's loose. There we go. Yeah, that piece is pretty much garbage, but there we go. We got another curve cut gear. They fit together. Look at that one. That one's loose. It is loose. It come right off of there. Look at that. That was I'm thinking something happened there. Something come loose. Not sure what happened. I haven't used this thing for, like I say, 15 years. I believe was the last time I used this. So anyhow, these gears, I can show you what I stole those gears out of. There you go, right here. This is what I stole those gears out of to make my gear-driven outboard. Right there. 90-degree air die grinder. I used to get these at Princess Auto back in the day, way back, 20 years ago, for around 15 bucks when they came on sale. So I'd scoop up, you know, 2, 3, 4 of them, strip them apart, use the gears in them to, you know, create stuff like that. You know, that's just what I used to do. So now we're going to jump a little bit ahead. Here we go. How did I make the gearbox? This one obviously is broken. It's useless. It's done its life. So here is a casting of what that one was. How did I make it? I'll show you. So basically what I did is I sculpted one. And then basically I made these, believe it or not, these here molds of the one I sculpted. This is Bondo. Believe it or not, this is Bondo. And then basically what I did is I made, you know, these are the negatives. I made another positive, kind of like this one, out of strand glass, fiberglass, in my Bondo mold. And then basically what I did is with this one I could cast plaster casts, plaster of Paris. And once that plaster of Paris was dry, you know, we drilled 2 holes, and basically I could pour aluminum, and voila, we come up with the lower end of the gearbox. And basically you could use the Bondo mold like a so. You could literally clamp that in there and use that basically as your clamping device to bore out your holes in the drill press. That was kind of how I did it back in the day. But yeah, pretty cool. That's an archive thing. Now, if you want to see this scaled outboard in action, the video is from 15 years ago. I have video. I have lots of my boat videos. Maybe from time to time I'll throw one on my channel. If you want to see this one was a big fiberglass, home-built fiberglass tunnel hull. You know, started with styrofoam, carved it, you know, covered it with fiberglass. Now, I never molded that. It was a one-off. I do have a video, but I'm going to warn you now that that video was shot with a 6 megapixel digital camera, video camera. So I'm just warning you now. I just want you to know it's not the greatest video. I mean, it's okay, but it's, you know, it's not the greatest video. If you want to watch, there's only 3 videos. I can actually tell you what it is. It's Mad Boater 022. But we're going to upload it to our channel because that was then, this is now. A few other things I'm going to show you just before I check out. I'm just going to pull up this toolbox. So back in my boating days, you know, like I say, this is here you go, here's a 3D print for a jet boat pump. There's my attempt at casting, you know, aluminum. I did refine them. They did work. Did some different ones. Did like double blades. Used to build stuff like this. This is plaster of Paris. That there, the cross would have been This was a mold to create stators for the impeller. The impeller goes up, basically up against the stator as it's shooting the water. Just part of a jet pump setup. This was a plaster casting for a 5-blade impeller, which was my favorite. It was my favorite. It was also a plastic 5-blade. It was not a 3D print. I bought it from some company. But yeah, just wanted to show you some of that stuff. That's how I used to do all my boating stuff. Blades, you know, stainless steel, kind of my favorite blades back in the day. I found the brass ones, they're good, but if you hit rocks, they bent nice and easy. Stainless ones took a little bit more of a beating. I love the Prathers. They're my favorite. They're actually cheaper than the beryllium. But this was my old box for my going boating. So there you go. We pulled something out of the archives. I'll upload the video of the, it's about a 3-minute video of my F1, you know, quarter scale gas tunnel running this, what I showed you here tonight. This is the basically the scale outboard that I was running. Now, another thing I wanted to say is, I know everybody's going to say, well, why don't you still go boating? Well, things change, you know. My favorite place to go, which was literally around the corner from my house, my shop, those ponds kind of got closed down by the city. They're kind of off limits to just about everybody now. You know, they were public, now they're not. Can't even fish there. You're not even supposed to go walk your dog there. They have these special turtles in the water. Anywho, you can actually go online, you can look up scaled outboards, and you know that way across the pond, you can buy them now. Not only can you buy them, you can buy them in any color. How good are they? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one day when I become YouTube rich and famous, maybe I'll just buy one for shits and giggles and build another tunnel boat. I would love to build another tunnel boat. Right now, I'm into the quarter scale cars. Like I said, there are many companies that make gas boats. There are not that many companies that create quarter scale 4-wheel vehicles. So that's just where I'm at. You know, we got the GT40 project on the go. There's always projects. We've been pounding away at this 52 Chevy. You know, got the brakes in it. We're still doing some work on the Corvette. As you can see, we get the 427. We finally got the transmission and the stall converter. That'll be going in any day. We're still picking away at Camera Girl's 52 Chevy pickup. But I'm thinking for now, I just wanted to show everybody a little bit of the past. And I hope you like the F1 tunnel boat video. Shitty quality, but till our next video, peace.